Hello, my friends. Welcome to CJ Reads Books. I'm CJ, and today we're going to talk about Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. So let me start out by telling you that this book, it doesn't read the same in the duology. So what I mean by that is the first book was so exciting. You start out, it's a magical system filled with uh, magical letters and excitement and fun and spontaneity. You get to the second book and it's the same thing, except it's a different plot. And I get it. I get it. It can't always be new. And it wasn't a bad book. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. However, I liked the first book way more than I did the second book. But before I give too much away, let's get into it. So yeah, to start out, guys, I am outside. I am in my hoarder of a backyard. Deal with it. Yeah, this book was an easy read, just like the first book. Now, it was a little slow in the beginning, I feel, but once it picked up, I feel like it stated a lot more things, and it moved along a lot better. But it was really slow in the beginning because it's obviously a change of scenery. It kind of leaves off 2 weeks after they left off in Divine Rivals, where in Divine Rivals you didn't know what was going on and what shenanigans they were after. So my thought on it, it explained a little more than it did in the first novel, which I'm all good for explanations. But in the first book, Rebecca Ross did such a good job of like splitting up the explanations and putting it in story form. And this one was more of a info dump all at once, and I do not do that very well. But it was still a good novel. Like I said, it wasn't a bad book. I recommend you read this book because it does tie off very nicely. It is a happy ending. Now it takes a minute to get there because the book is pretty thick, but I read that baby in one day. So if I can, you can too. But it was a good book, and the character development was good. You see a bunch of reoccurring characters in it, which is really nice. I like this thing where I'm doing the with like a duology or trilogy and stuff like that because I feel like having that one book in the middle doesn't take me away from the story, but it also like kind of refreshes the story for me a little bit. It wasn't too old and I could still remember the characters as they went through, if that makes sense. So it was really good book. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars because I feel like it didn't have as much as the first book, but that might be just because the first book had that first book, new book energy kind of thing. And like in the beginning of the series where everything new and everything is getting explained to you, but the magic system is phenomenal. Yeah, that was Divine Rivals for me. As far as Ruthless Vows go, it it was a little it was a little slower. It moved a little slower at a slower pace, but that doesn't mean it wasn't good. It still had amazing content in it. But I think the pace and the fact that a whole bunch of history was info dumped at me was the reason why I did not enjoy it as much as I did the first book. But I will do a series, a duology review on it with spoilers. So that'll be probably a week from this video coming out. So um, if you've read the series, tell me what you think. What else should I read from her? I'm very excited to read more works from her. I actually put one of her other work on my spinny spinny bum bum, so hopefully we'll get that spun pretty soon. Um, but yeah, tell me what you think. I have a couple links down below. The first is to my Etsy store. I sell blind dates with the books, so if you're interested in that, they're only $6, and shipping is like 5. So come support a local person. My second link is to my Patreon. So what a Patreon is, it's a place where all my videos go after they are edited. So if you are a paid member, you get to see this long form video first. Everywhere else it's scheduled, but this is where you get to see it first. So that's another way you can support me. The third way you can support me is to buy me a coffee down below. But if you can't do any of those three, you are still here. You are still watching. Thank you for supporting me here. Like, share, subscribe, comment, share my book reviews with a friend. Maybe they'll start reading and we can form like a book club or something. That'll be cool. But I am going on live soon. I don't know when. It might be a new year kind of thing. I have no idea. I don't know where I'm going to find the time, but we'll figure it out as we go. But until then, I do want to start doing that. So um, hit me up if you have any suggestions or anything about my lives and stuff. But thank you, Robert Woolen, for being my one and only Patreon member. And for everyone else, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.